100% off the strength, man.
Off the strength.
Can't get that off the strength.
What's good, everybody? What's good? Welcome back to yet another episode of Off the Strength, where we're giving you the inside look into all things wellness culture. I'm a trainer called Tony, and of course, with me, I got a gentleman of extraordinary league.
KR Jones is in the building.
That's right, folks. We are back. And ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, listeners of all type from near and far, you are now in store for a treat. Ain't that right, Brother Jones?
You goddamn right, brother.
We got a returning friend of the show coming back through inside here.
There seems to be a theme.
It is, man. Yo, we making friends out here, Kyle.
Connecting the dots.
We are. Now, people might have not caught the last episode when this brother came on. He was teaching us some very key, distinct differences about being a brand versus a business out here, man. You know, we went from that position, and I got a chance to meet that brother on that side, but then people might not even know that this brother became a part of the bike constituency out there.
Yeah, yay.
You know, you got to shout out his official Knight Ryder that's coming inside here with us too, man. And I'm saying all around, brother, he's been somebody who has checked in on me before the craziness with the leg, during the whole lockdown situation. I got a chance to really see this brother and talk to him on a weekly basis. So this is a friend, a pal, and a confidant. I'm going to go ahead. Let's make some noise for Winston Peters one more time, son. Let's make some noise. What's going on, brother? How you feeling?
That's what do I owe? What's the invoice for that?
Man, you know, you owe nothing, sir. You've provided all the inspiration possible. I'm just happy to see my brother in real life right now, man.
Off the strength.
Likewise, happy to be here. Happy to see both of y'all in person.
Brother Jones.
What's the word?
I'm not going to lead too much into my brother Winston over here just yet, man.
Okay.
But there might be some new people because we are getting some new followers.
This is true. Shout out to the new followers.
Shout out to all the new followers
All of them.
on that side. They might not have caught that first episode, man.
They probably didn't.
You want to break this out a little bit, how we get into this?
Oh, man. So, but before we even get into that, we got to send them back to the first episode, right?
Tell them to go back.
You know, go back and check out that so you can get your business mind right.
Yep.
You know, your entrepreneur mind right.
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm saying? And really to put your best foot forward, right?
We got to.
So Winston, you know, it's been a while since we touched down on the mics, you know. The way we start this off, again, to reiterate to the folks that don't know, where were you when you fell in love with this thing we call wellness?
Where was I? I would say I was in, middle school where I fell in love with this thing called wellness. I was playing sports and very competitive by nature, whether we're playing checkers or volleyball or basketball. It's like, okay, I just wanted to be better. And playing volleyball, playing basketball, playing tennis, that's like, okay, I have to get my body right to be able to compete at the level that I want to win.
I'm also going to throw this to you. Where were you when you fell in love with the business side of things?
I would say definitely elementary school, which I mentioned on the first episode as well. I won't mention the year, but there was a corner store a block away from my elementary school, and I had to walk to school where a lot of my friends, they were taking the bus or their parents were dropping them off, so they didn't have an opportunity to go to the corner store to get their sour power, to get whatever Jolly Ranchers, their blow pops, whatever. So I would go to the bodega with my $1, spend, buy as many sour power as I possibly could, and sell them in school for a premium price because
Supply and demand, baby.
It was a premium service you were offering. You know?
Exactly. Like you can get the sour power, because you couldn't get to the store.
You can't get these down the block. I'm here.
So
saving you time, offering convenience.
Exactly. All of those things that I didn't know at 9 years old, I was offering to my student friends.
You see those seeds plant early on, and then the maturation of you going into, the marketing and the branding and everything, and being a founding partner in My Uber Life and Wolf University, and all of these things culminating into, who you are presenting here before us today. Before I even jump into all of that stuff, my man, I start this off much like how you walked in here and asking us about how our health has been and how many of our conversations before we jump into the deepest of deep when we're sharing soul stories over here, Winston. Gotta let the good people know how you feel and where you are at, just in your presence today.
One, thank you for that. It is a practice that I do, a ritual that I do, whether it's a meeting with a client or my classroom of students is I definitely want to check on the energy. So thank you for that. I'm in a very good space right now. Some challenging times in terms of all of the good opportunities, a lot of productivity, but energy level is good, very focused, and eager for the new challenges that await. So that's where I'm at right now.
Man, let's get into some of those new challenges, my brother, because I remember an early call that we had during this whole quarantine thing, man. And it was, a lot of people were making adjustments. I know people were shifting businesses. We had ideas and deals coming into our direction that just didn't follow through all the way because the whole world kind of, in our sector, kind of came into stop pretty much, and people were forced to make a pivot. People were forced to, look into themselves to try to generate their own businesses. So you had a lot of first-time entrepreneurs starting to take steps into that direction. And a lot of people realistically had to learn some very hard lessons along that pathway. I think if we had more opportunities for people to have exposures to what success could look like in that direction, it would end up giving you a better result in the net end of that sometimes. So Winston, I remember us talking, and I remember you talking about how you were starting to be concerned with that as a mission on its own. Talk to me how that first conversation developed into what you are doing with these new opportunities and where you are developing now.
Definitely the pandemic, early stages of early 2020, March of 2020 was no one knew what the hell was going on
at all.
At all. How everything was going to just shift, stop, whatever you want to call it, and it made things very, very clear that one, if you had one revenue stream that was too close to no revenue stream, too close to zero revenue.
It was
stream.
none. Yeah, one and none.
One and none. And something that we talk about being within the wellness industry, that individuals are just one-trick ponies.
For sure.
So what happens when you have one leg and it gets chopped off? You can't move. So it made us think at My Uber Life and our clients, like, how can we be anti-fragile? Because again, a lot of businesses either stopped, slowed down, don't exist anymore. So it made us think about what are the other things that we can do? How can we empower our community? How can we empower our clients, as well as empower and encourage ourselves to navigate these uncharted waters that we are facing? There were a lot of blessings during the pandemic. One being it was a good pause for the planet.
Yeah, for sure.
One, it was the first time in 30 years that you were able to see the Himalayas.
That's crazy.
Because everyone was in quarantine inside.
All the pollution and everything.
But something that a negative impact outside of the obvious during the pandemic was there's huge creation of digital junk. People who weren't online before, now they were forced to be online because we have to. Perfect example of that is art galleries. A lot of art galleries never had an e-commerce. Majority of art galleries don't have an e-commerce because it's uncouth to sell art online if you're a gallery. Now they were forced to. So a whole bunch of people, whole bunch of brands, whole bunch of businesses are online who had no clue about how to be online. With that, again, more blessings. I received the opportunity from my alma mater to actually become a professor, which was like something that us at Wolf University know we provide knowledge outside of the classroom to the next generation of leaders. So that was just probably the next maturation in my progression, at Wolf University. So becoming a first-time marketing professor, adjunct professor at my alma mater in a pandemic, teaching a hybrid class. Half of my students are in person, half of them are online. Is like, okay, it was truly baptism by fire, going straight, as I tell people, going straight to the league from middle school.
You know what? The things that tend to come out of that, though, are forged by that fire. The resilience that you have when you have to do it out of necessity in a lot of different ways tend to serve you the long way in life, or at least those are the things that come across for me as the most valuable times. It's like it was when you had uncertainty that you were able to rely on the things that you had innately true to you.
And what I would say to that, and I totally agree, your constraints breeds creativity.
Yeah.
You learn how to maneuver with those constraints.